Hello, happy Saturday. How's everyone doing tonight? I hope you can hear me. I'm trying out something new to see if it doesn't make some better sound. Hey, Christy, can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Hello, Kara. Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello. I want to make sure you can hear me. Yes, okay, good, good. I'm using my headphones so that hopefully the microphone on it will be clearer since it'll be closer to me even if I step away from the phone that's recording the image. So I just want to be sure y'all can hear me. So thanks for joining me tonight. Happy Saturday, everyone. I've got a cute idea for a card and I hope it works out. So we'll see. But I'm going to use the Born to Bloom Stampin' Thin Cuts again because I really like the plants. And it's so funny, Chris, that you were just using the plants theme for your live because I was like, she's copying me. But no, I'm just kidding. I really like these stamps. I'm not a plant person, but for some reason, this stamp set just really does it for me. I don't know. It just, they're so cute. And I wanted to try something different. So we'll see how it works out. Hey, Selma. Okay, so I have pre-cut a few pieces. I've got this piece of pattern pattern paper from our Mixing Collections. It's at 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I did use our stitched rectangles to get this middle piece, and it's going to be a 1/4 inch smaller than that, so 375 by 5 inches. I really like how the white stitch background has been showing. The kind of just gives a clean background to a card. So I think we can go ahead and start building up our card base, and then we'll see how it goes once we add on our stamped and cut images. So where's my adhesive? I had an adhesive here last night, and then I had a helper, and so I think I lost track of it. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna add some adhesive to our background paper. Try and make sure my margins are even. Ooh, that came out good. Good job. And I don't want this flat. I would like this panel raised. And so, hey Mom. So what I want to suggest to you, yes, the leaves are becoming popular, I guess. I've seen it in other markets as well. What I'm going to suggest to you is if you have a big piece that you need to raise up, rather than using the foam tape, you can use craft foam. So, you know, you get it in the craft section at Walmart, you know, wherever. It's already got a sticky side completely. And then I can just cut it so that I'll have a whole chunk of adhered foam rather than adding strips of foam tape so that you don't get any creases. It'll stay nice and fluffy. So let me cut this up. I feel a little winded. I don't know, because I was running to the kitchen to get my water and then get everything set up. I wanted to make sure that I didn't go start too late. So I'm just gonna cut this. If this is 375. I'm going to do about 3.5. Oh, that might not actually cut it though, because my blade is super shallow. But it'll give me a cutting path that I can at least cut through here. I'm going to do about 475. Yeah. I mean, it cuts through the foam pretty good, actually. It just doesn't cut all the way through to the paper. So, not a problem. And so now we've got this nice foam square that we can adhere to the back of that big piece instead of adding foam tape. It just gives such nice dimension, and I really do like that about cards, is having that extra, what do you call it? What do you want to call it? That extra dimension, I guess that's just basic words for it. So I have some two-sided adhesive tape that I picked up at a craft store. And it's flat tape. It's not going to be foam tape. But it's supposed to be super strong. Oh, you know what, Selma? I am the same way. I just kind of get a little bit at a time to see what I can use them for. The good thing about doing these videos is I kind of have an excuse, or I've been using it as an excuse to buy all kinds of things that I wouldn't normally buy. Like this stamp set is something that I normally just would have shied away from just because I'm not a plant person. But I think the cards I've done with it here in the last couple days have been some of my best ones. So you just never know. So let me get this off and we'll see if I'm going to need some more adhesive. This foam is a little bit picky about what kind of tape it wants as well. I'm not going to be shy about putting adhesive here because I definitely want it to stick. And I'm just kind of scoring it with my fingertips to make it stick to the foam. And hopefully this will lift up. There we go. I'll get it. It seems like some good strong tape. We'll see how it does once we bond it to the paper. Okay, there we go. Oh, that does feel nice and sticky, so shouldn't be a problem. Just make sure I give myself an even margin, because once it sticks down, then pretty much going to be stuck. Okay, nice. You get that little bit of dimension in there. So already we've got a nice thick card. Okay, as for the stamps, let's get some stamping done. So I've got my piece of white cardstock. Let me cut it down because we've got a huge chunk here. Okay. And I'm just going to stamp several of the different plants and the pots, just different themes, so that we have a variety. And I'm going to use the intense black so that when we use our markers, of course, so that it doesn't bleed. There's one of our potted plants. Hey, Mary. Hello, Lala. Okay. I'm going to stamp it straight down and kind of give it a good firm push so that we'll get a good impression. And then I'm going to come back and clean it. I just figured since I'm going to stamp several of these, I can just come and clean them all at once. Then here's the second one. And I'm giving them a little bit of spacing on my paper so that when I put the thin cuts, there's no overlap. Here we go. Okay. And then, let's see. There's several different we want to get several different plants in here, so we'll have a variety to choose from. Get this pot. Another one. Oh, that might be too close for the thin cut. Okay. Let's see, we'll get this big old leafy tree. Not a tree, it's a big plant. I want to make sure I get a good impression there. I need a bigger block. Oh, I'm gonna run out of room here. Okay, I'll put it on a different piece of white cardstock. Let me see here. I'll just cut another piece, not a part. I don't know. It's like, should we conserve paper? Does it matter? I want to get a good, firm press on there so that we get a good impression. Okay. Hello, Jessica. Okay, now that we've got all our stamps back on our carrier sheet, I'm going to get my little chamois and wipe them all down. Just get all that extra ink off. For the most part, when you stamp it, if you stamp it down firmly, you get the majority of it off anyway. So just coming through, one last little wipe down. Now, we'll need to go through and color our plants. And so just using the light green, the citrus green, maybe not the light yellow. I picked up the wrong one. The dull green. We could just color down these plants. And I like to just either start with a light or a medium and then build up with the darker side to give it some variation. I also want to stick to the browns for the pots on these, since we're using the brown pattern paper. So nothing too fancy, everything's pretty straightforward on the coloring. It doesn't smear. It doesn't smear. They're alcohol markers, and so they blend. They blend with each other. But I haven't had any smearing issues. So then I can come back through, and you'll see. Hopefully, you can see that shading on that pot where I put the darker color around this side, and then that darker coloring in the inside of the leaf. So it does really well not to smear. I've never actually thought about it though. No, look, it's like straight to the paper, no smearing. And I don't believe they smear with water either, because they're alcohol based, so it like dries right away. I guess the alcohol in them dries up right away. I guess that's how it works, but I'm not 100% sure. That's just what I've seen. Really, really good markers. Now, water-based markers are the ones that will run on you. They will smear. So, not to say that water-based markers aren't good. It's just every type of marker or ink or whatever has a certain, I guess, type of project that it works best on. And so you want to use the proper type for whatever you're doing. Just like I use the intense black ink, which is a permanent ink. It doesn't smear, or it doesn't, run when I put the alcohol marker to it. Whereas if I were to use a water-based ink, as soon as I put something else wet to it, it will cause it to run. So that's the difference in using like a solvent or an alcohol type marker versus a water-based. And that's always something to think about when you go to buy products. Is like, what will you be using it for, so that you get the right thing. On our regular paper, I find like the watercolors really don't, I mean, they do okay, but I feel like it curls the paper up a lot. Whereas if I use the watercolor paper, then obviously you get a better result, because the paper's built to accept all that water. So it's just a matter of using the correct tools for the job. I'm just keeping everything in the brown family. That was a good question though, Bernice, because the name of my markers. So these are the Spectrum Noir Tri-Blend markers. They are on my site at claudia.ctmh.com. So I'm just coloring in, like I said, keeping the pots to the brown color and the plants to the green color. Just to keep our card to some basic colors. I really love to see the blending just fall in line. what is this? A light yellow. I don't want a light yellow. I need the gold brown. There we go. I'll list the markers and put a link in the comments after this video is done. And then after I put in the dark color, I come back with either the medium or the light to blend it in so that we can kind of get rid of the harsh line. So let's just say, by the power of and the magic of television, that all of this went super speedy, fast motion. We lined everything up. We got everything going and put it through our die machine. Right? That's what we do. I ordered that magnetic plate, y'all, because I am getting through this roll of washi a lot faster than I intended. Hey, Missy. Okay, so let's line that up. Line this up. We're gonna run that through our die machine, right? Everything's gonna run through our die machine. And then voila, like magic, we've got all these pieces, okay? I did a lot of this ahead of time. Number one, so I could lay it out, but number two, so that I could, so y'all wouldn't have to watch me color in 10,000 pieces. So I've got a pot for each of my potted plants and a couple of hanging baskets to put on my card. So, but don't worry, I will finish coloring out those other ones and make a second card, because we're not gonna waste all that effort. So I have these two stamp sets that Close to My Heart made, like at the beginning of the lockdowns, of the quarantine, of the corona. And this one's called Forever Grateful, and it has several thank you sentiments on it. Forever grateful, it'll be good again, hang in there. I wanted to use the hang in there because of our hanging plants, but then when I added the potted plants, I kind of felt like it didn't go anymore. So I thought, well, I can still use Together We'll Get Through This, because since I have a grouping of plants, togetherness would be a good theme. So I think we're gonna go with the togetherness. Let me pull everything aside. And so I probably should have stamped it before I did all this foam stuff, but I think it'll be okay. Let me find a block. Remember, when you're stamping, you want to try and find a block that's closest to the size of the stamp that you're using. Like, you wouldn't want to use a block this big for a little stamp like that, because it just gives you too much room for error. But I'm gonna ink that up, and now we've got to decide. I think I'm gonna put my plants, like, I think they need to go on this side, just because this guy is hanging this way. And then our hanging plants can go here. So our sentiment can go right down here. There we go. Together we'll get through this. I think that sentiment goes for lots of things during this time. I'm going to use my foam dots just so that I can have a little bit more control over where the tape goes, because I want to put them at different levels. So I've got the thin foam dots and I've got the thicker regular foam dots. Now this guy's going to have to go flat because we've got other plants that we want to put on here. So let me show you what I'm thinking. So that guy in the back, this guy in front of him on the thin foam tape, and then this guy on some even fatter foam tape with that plant. So it's kind of like when you go to grandma's house and she's got tons of plants. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, when you go over to visit and they've got lots of plants and you just want that grouping to come to you. And then some hanging plants that I can add in as well. And then I can even add some ribbon to tie those off so that it looks like they're really hanging. So we're going to start with that. Since we're doing this one flat, let's definitely get him adhered down first. Now, here, let me do the pot. And the plant. There we go. And then this guy's going to need some foam tape. See, if I use the little foam dots, I can make sure that they're in the inside of the leaf and don't hang out so that they don't show. I know, I'm using a lot, but I mean, if I was using the strip tape, I would be using a lot too, so. I'm gonna put that guy, he gets the same kind of pot, because I only had 2. So I did try and color them differently. And I think that, hold on, let's get all this off and then we'll kind of talk through the placement. Okay. So I need, oh, good. We caught just a little bit of that foam. I don't want to do it too far away that it looks like odd, right? Because this pot's going to have to go right about there. And so I don't want it to look weird. Like, why is he so far up? If I do that there so that they're even, I guess that'll work. Okay. Okay, so this one's on a little bit of foam tape. And then we'll make sure that this guy is on some fat foam tape. so that it sticks up even higher than that, and it'll look more in front. So. We'll just get one big fat guy here. And then put that right there. Oh, that looks good. We did good there. Use some little bitty ones. Okay. Now, yesterday when we did all those leaves, and we did them in like bright colors, I think that kind of would be cute too if you were just kind of having a little bit of a crazy card. Oh, that worked out perfect. Probably shouldn't have used the fattest on this side, but you can't really tell. I was gonna say, since it's gonna be a little lopsided, but it's hardly noticeable. Okay, let's see, just wanna put that hanging there. I don't think I want an extra hanging plant because they're gonna end up being the same. I don't know. I kind of just would want something different. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna put the thin 3D tape on one of them and the fat 3D tape on the other one. So that they're also at different heights from the paper. This should fit on there without showing. There we go. And maybe a little tiny one. I am going to put it right over that little hole where you would see it through there, because I'm going to add string, and so hopefully that will take away from showing. Okay. I've got this dark green one, and I've got a different colored green one. I'm just going to make a bow. And tighten that up. So if I put it there, better make it smaller. So then I can hang this over the back of the card and just leave this piece hanging down. We'll see what that looks like. And that glue dot right in there will help with the stickiness, but I think I still need just the tiniest little drop. Whoa, that was not a tiny drop. Can you get me a napkin, babe?
Sure.
Thank you. I made a mess. That was a huge, huge drop. Actually, we might be able to. I need to take this tape off. Thank you, baby. Clean that up before it gets all over the place. It was glue.
Oh.
It was glue.
Oh, it's sticky.
Yeah, it's it's really good super glue. So, I need to get this over that edge, but I think we adhered it down pretty good. I may be able to get just the tiniest bit down in there. Let's use the scissors to tuck it. Oh yeah, perfect. Now it'll look like it's hanging, maybe. And then we'll add this one. I'm gonna use a different color green if I can find the end. Oh no, I'm gonna end up, it's probably the wrong end. Okay.
That's deleted. Still shows you do.
It's delayed yet. Yes, and I'm still doing it. Okay. Fine then. Let's just cut a piece of rope here. And spat on this one. I'm gonna tie a little knot and see if I can tie it like that. I could actually even unwind those. I don't know if that's going to be too much work. And it might not work at all.
Imagine if you got up to 1,000 days.
No?
That's almost 3 years.
Okay, so I'm just gonna then cut these short since that's not gonna work for me. And we'll tie this and we'll stick that back there as well. A little bit higher up. Yeah, I know. Sometimes I get caught up and I'm not paying attention to it's like, okay, nobody wants to see you struggle with something that should not be a struggle. Okay, I'm gonna pop just a tiny, yeah, give me that. We're gonna put a little paper towel there. There we go. I was able to get just a drop out. And then what I need to do is get it to go in between that foam. Stick that in there so that we can be sure that it glues down. There we go. There we go. I think that does it. I think I'm going to add a little bit of this green shimmer though in here. You're scared? Well, that's okay. Should probably do it a little bit too. It's kind of not the, well, we've already done it, so we're gonna have to live with it, people. I think once the green dries, it'll just look like some shading, I'm hoping. Okay, I'm gonna leave it before I add too much and go too crazy. We can add clear to the others just to make it blend in. And this is what you get for being extra. I know. It's like, I had it going good.
You taught them a lesson.
I taught y'all.
Not to make mistakes.
Oh, I don't think we've got mistakes, right? I mean,
overdue.
it's paper. We try things. It's not gonna be bad. Oof, with this clear, I can kind of move it around. It's gonna make it definitely. Gonna get that green to run. Actually, though, it looks better. Oh. Now I gotta clean that tip off. Okay, so should we shimmer brush through that? Let's see on a scrap piece of paper what would our sentiment with some shimmer brush look like? Because I'm wanting to add it.
You're not trying to make any more mistakes.
I know. So we'll test it out. So if we were to do it, it would end up looking like this. And I think that that's too aqua for our green. Fine. No? Oscar says no. Okay. So how about some bling? We can get some bitty sparkles or some little sparkles.
I saw some like green triangles.
Oh, no, I don't want to add those green triangles. Those for sure are too weird.
Yeah, but they match the color.
Not really. If I add another one up here, doesn't it look weird?
Yeah, I think you should.
Okay, I'm just gonna add those two. I know we should be adding in threes, but I'm gonna just do two this time. And we're gonna call it a night before I do too much. So there we go. The shimmer looks good though. Yeah, it's too aqua. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't get the green that's in the catalog that I don't have. So I'll just add that to my list. Hey, Martha. So there we go. We got those plants a little shimmery. The aqua on here, it's like not my best work, but it will survive the card test. I've got those that are shimmery. The clear shimmer, I think, helped tone that down though. Thank you, Kara. Okay, so I'm gonna leave this white space white though, because I think we do need some cleanness. Looks great, and Kara agrees. Thank you, Kara. So, okay, that's it, guys. That's my card for Saturday night. I hope y'all like it. Thanks for coming in and watching. Y'all, stay safe out there. There's a lot going on. It's crazy times. Stay home if you can. Limit your contact. Wash your hands. Wear your mask. And stay safe. Okay, we'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night, guys.